welcome back. My name is Veronica for those of you that are new, and I'm a wife and mama from Las Vegas, and I make videos on all things cooking, cleaning, and decorating. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my Halloween tablescape as well as an amazing DIY. This video is extra special because it is in collaboration with my sweet friend Elizabeth here on YouTube. Elizabeth's channel has easily become one of my absolute favorites to watch here on YouTube. She is just the sweetest mama. She has 3 beautiful children and she lives with her husband and kids in Canada. She shares DIYs, recipe ideas, as well as some really great cleaning and decorating motivation on her channel. I will leave all her details down below, and if you do check her out, make sure you let her know that I sent you. If you are interested in these type of videos, make sure you hit that red subscribe button for me down below, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss a future video. Today we're going to be making these dollar store cloche DIYs, creepy of course for Halloween. I started off by grabbing some of these plastic stemware glasses from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just using a heated up box cutter to cut off the plastic stem. I am actually having quite a bit of difficulty with this, and I did have to continue to heat up the blade in order for it to work. I'm not sure if it's because of how small the blade I was using or if I was just not getting hot enough, but you may have to heat the blade itself multiple times to get it to cut all the way through cleanly. Once the stem is cut off, they make the perfect little cloche lids. Now for the bases, we're going to take 2 of the stemware glass bottoms and we're going to glue them together right where they would attach to the stemware, and it should make almost like a little pedestal. I decided to use hot glue for this, and it did eventually work, but I did have to use multiple attempts in order to get it to stick. So in the future, if I make these again for another holiday, I will definitely be using something like E6000 just to make sure that they stay together.
With your hair, and now you're always wearing denim. Yeah, everything about you is the reason I can't spend one more day without you.
Since the domes do have a giant hole where we cut off the stem, I'm going to paint some wooden beads black to create like a little handle for the top of the cloche. So in order to keep my hands as neat as possible and to be able to paint the entire bead, I'm using a wooden skewer to hold the bead while I am painting. And I'm just using some black chalk paint that I grabbed at Walmart, but I know that they sell some black paint at the Dollar Tree and it would work just as well.
Because all I need is you. Oh, won't you run away with me? Won't you run away with me? I've never felt like.
Since this project is a creepy DIY cloche, I did decide to go ahead and paint the base as well with the same black chalk paint. And I really like how it turned out once all of these were done.
Run away with me. Do I really make you feel like you don't need anyone? Do I make you wanna run? Just be wild and free. Do I really make you feel like you don't need anyone else? Like you don't need anyone else? Because all I need is you. Oh, all I need is you. Hey. Oh, yeah.
To fill the cloches, I am using some Spanish moss from the Dollar Tree as well as a Halloween skeleton garland that I grabbed there as well. I am using hot glue to go ahead and attach the moss to the base because I want to make sure that it stays put. And then I'm going to try my hardest to position this little skeleton dude to fit in this little cloche. Once I have him positioned the way that I want to, I go ahead and hot glue the rim of the cloche down. Otherwise, it will not necessarily stay, especially because he is so tightly stuffed in there. So this project, I actually was inspired by my sweet friend Elizabeth Di Petta. She did these for fall and they just turned out so cute, and I just had to try them for myself, and I am so happy with how they turned out. If you do decide to try this little DIY, make sure you tag me over on Instagram. I would love to see how yours turn out. Catch a glimpse of Panama. We don't need a map. I'll let you know when we've arrived. Yeah, we can travel the world, so just say yes. Now that our DIY project is ready to go, it is time to get ready to set our table. I'm going to start off just by giving my table an extremely good wipe down. I am using the Mrs. Meyer's apple cider scent. As always, it just is my absolute favorite during this time of year. I had quite a bit of icing left over on the table from my stepson's birthday, and I was scrubbing my hardest to get it all off. To begin my decor, I am going to use this creepy gauze fabric that I grabbed at the Dollar Tree last year, and I am going to spread it out just to make sure that it fits the area that I want, and then I'm going to move it around to give it the texture that I'm looking for. It is really important to anchor your decor, and this piece of fabric is the perfect way for me to do that. Next, I'm going to go ahead and set down my candlesticks, and I am using these just to make sure I've got different levels of dimension and height. I grabbed these ones at Michael's in their Halloween decor collection this year. Then I'm adding this giant skull to the center, but I had noticed he definitely needed to be anchored, so I grabbed a silver tray that I grabbed at the Dollar Tree a couple of years ago to set him on top of, and I really love how this turned out. Since we are going for a creepy vibe, I decided to use a spooky tree on either end of the material and then add in some more skull pieces to give it more of that vibe. I did try to use an old candlestick and skull, and it just did not look right, so I traded it out and tried a couple other things before I finally decided on just using a cloche and a skull directly on the fabric. To fill in some voided space, I grabbed a couple bags of skeleton pieces. I guess it's actually a vase filler to spread around and scatter, and I just really like the dimension that it brought to this table. I don't really like a lot of open or voided space when I'm doing these type of tablescapes, so I was really looking to use as many creepy pieces as I could. Next, I'm going to add these glass votive holders that I grabbed at the Dollar Tree. I just think these are absolutely stunning, and they actually come in multiple heights. So I grabbed a few of the middle height and then a couple of both the tall and small sizes to add even more dimension to my tablescape. When my mama used to say, and I decided to go ahead and add my little skeleton cloches that we created to my tablescape, and I just love how they turned out. It leaves you with a scar. Don't let them tell you what you feel or who you are. The final thing I'm going to add to my centerpiece are these adorable LED pearl lights. I grabbed 2 packs of these at Big Lots, and I actually expected them to shine black because nowhere on the package did it say that they shine green, but I actually love the effect the green light gives. I just love that these are both beautiful when they're lit as well as just when they're laying there, because the pearls give it a little bit of a different texture and it just gives it a little bit more of a feminine touch. Overall, I am just so happy with how this centerpiece turned out. I just love the dimension, the height, the textures, and most importantly, I love how creepy it is. To set my table, I am using some silver chargers that are actually like a galvanized metal. I wanted to use a mixture of different metals on this table just because to me that screams Halloween. And I'm just using some plain white plates because there's nothing more classic or more beautiful in my opinion. Chairs at the head of the table I do set a little bit differently, so I'm going to use these buffalo checked plates that I grabbed at Hobby Lobby and set a porcelain white smaller plate on top. I decided that the table needed a little bit more of a copper tone, so I decided to use my mule mugs instead of wine goblets, and I just love these little jack-o'-lantern ones that I picked up last year at Target. The final touch is I am going to go ahead and use my buffalo check napkins and galvanized metal napkin rings to finish setting each place setting. So happy with how this tablescape turned out, and I am just thrilled with my little DIY cloches. I hope you like them as much as I do. Make sure you tell me down below your favorite part of today's video, and if you're new, make sure you introduce yourself so that I can get to know you as well. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye! And don't forget to go and check out Elizabeth's channel after you are done here.